Hi, I'm Gabe. This is Trevor. We hope you guys are as excited as we are for your upcoming adventure in one of our custom camper vans.
Before you arrive, we wanted to take a few moments to familiarize you with the ins and outs of your new home on wheels. We want to talk a little bit about what we think is one of the most exciting features of this van, the pop top. It's really easy to use, but it is one of the times that you want to be sure you turn your brain on, both when putting it up and taking it down. There's two things you want to be paying attention to before putting the pop top up. First, you want to make sure you haven't parked underneath any branches or tree limbs that are going to be putting pressure on the top of the pop top. Second, you want to make sure that you undo all three latches that are holding it secure to the vehicle. There's two up front and one in the back. Once you've done that, you're good to go. It's an automatic pop top. Push the switch and it'll go up on its own. This is the process for undoing all three latches that hold down the pop top. First, you need to undo the cotter pin. Push the button on the back to remove it. Second, pull the tongue back towards you. There should be a slight bit of pressure. And third, undo the metal clasp which holds it onto the D-ring. Put everything back together, and the last step is to put the D-ring flush with the material so that there's no danger of the clip grabbing it on its way back up. The van, as you receive it, is going to be ready and set up for what we call living room mode. So the bed itself is actually going up to the ceiling. Now that's really nice because it actually gives you an 8-foot ceiling, so there's plenty of room in here while you're cooking. You can throw a little dance party if you want. It's really a spacious living area, and it actually opens up these 5 windows up on the top. When you're ready to put the pop top back down, there's a couple of things you want to pay attention to. First, clear everything off of the bed. Second, you want to make sure that all of the windows are zipped with the zippers meeting up at the top. That's actually what keeps this whole system waterproof in here. Lastly, you want to make sure all the privacy shades are rolled back up and buttoned back at the top. When you're ready to roll, this is exactly what it should look like. Now, as you're bringing the pop top back down, something you want to pay attention to, you might have to guide it back into these rails here. Especially if your van is parked at a little bit of a diagonal or on a curve, you'll want to make sure that you're not getting caught up on the lip on either side and that it's sitting right down here in the rails as it should. When bringing the pop top back down, it's important to do a walk around the outside to make sure that you don't see any of the tan canvas sticking outside of the external shell. If you do, no big deal. Put the pop top back up, come back in, and you can just pull it in from the inside, bring it back down, do a walk around again, and make sure you don't see the canvas. Now that we have the pop top back down, we want to talk about refastening the 3 clips. First, you want to pull the cotter pin back out. Remember, you have to push the button on the back, open it back up, attach it to the D-ring, push pressure on the back. Now, you want there to be a slight bit of pressure, resistance against your hand. If there's not, all you have to do is open this and spin the hook counterclockwise. Then push in there. You'll feel the pressure against your hand, put the cotter pin back in, and you know it's fastened. If you're ready to set it up into bed mode, so you're leaving the bed down in the rails, all you have to undo are the 3 loops that are around the outside. There's 2 up front here, and then 1 in the very back. Now that you've undone all 3 loops, come back over, you'll put the pop top back up, and you'll notice that the bed actually stays down in the rails, which gives you ample space up top for 2 adults to sleep. It's just over a full-size bed. Now, to get up into your penthouse suite, we provided a ladder for you. It's easy to use. Just fold it out. You'll see that there's actually a grip here that holds into the handle. Once you've got it in place, just climb on up. Setting up the downstairs bed is simple. All you have to do, it functions very much like an old futon. Pull it up and out, and it lays flat. The one thing you do want to pay attention to is that these 2 back pads here in the back are pushed all the way against the back doors so they don't get caught up on each other. Now to put it back up into a seat, just as simple. You're ready to drive.
Every window in the van has a privacy shade, including the pop top. Even some ones downstairs, vanity, and then full privacy. There's even a couple up front that'll block out the front windshield and 2 in the back.
When designing these vans, we try to think of everything you might need while you're out camping. So we've included a freshwater sink, 24 gallons of fresh water, plenty of storage, all the pots and pans, plates and silverware you might need, an insulated French press, there's a 2-burner stove, and a fridge big enough to fit roughly 3 days worth of food.
Your 2-burner stove in the kitchen is hooked to a 5-gallon propane tank underneath the van. This is going to be the same tank that your barbecue at home has. Of course, this is always going to be off whenever you're driving, and you'll have to turn on when you're parked at camp. To turn on, you're going to go down to the propane sticker and find the tank. On the northern end of the tank, there's a valve. Turn to the left to open, turn to the right to close. Whenever you're using the 2-burner stove in the kitchen, it's very important to have the grill window open behind it. This just allows for ventilation and any excess fumes to be released.
All of the electrical systems in the rear of the van work off of 2 12-volt batteries in the back. So that's the refrigerator, your lights, and your inverter. So if ever you need to use the wall plugs, the 110 plugs, you'll need to turn on the inverter. You do that simply by pushing the 1 button here on the inverter with the arrow to it until it says inverting, and then in a moment here it'll say on. Now you want to keep a close eye on your electrical system, and you can do that by paying attention to this large number here. You can fully recharge the batteries by driving for about an hour. Alternatively, if you're parked in a campsite, you can turn the car on and let it run until the number is up around 12.5, 12.6. You never want that to drop below 12. If it gets anywhere close, 12.1, 12.2, that's a good time to start the van. Let it run until that number goes up to about 12.5, 12.6.
There's ample lighting all throughout the van. There's 2 light switches here next to the pop top for the galley and kitchen. As you move towards the back, you'll have additional reading lights here, here, and up top. There also is a porch light, lighting up the campground at night. During your trip, if you ever run low on fresh water, it's a couple easy steps to fill up. First things first, you want to turn off the water pump. After turning off the water pump, you're going to lift up the back seat here, and it exposes your freshwater tank, which is 24 gallons. All you need to do down here is do a 1/4 turn on the valve to open up the fill hose. After opening the fill valve, you'll want to come around back and grab the white hose that's located here in the back door. Grab this hose, and you're going to go around to the driver's side. You'll see here that there's a city water connection in the back of the van. All you want to do is open this up, connect the hose, and then connect this to a clean water fill station. You'll be able to find this at any campground throughout your trip. There is an overfill valve. If you're doing something and not paying attention, water will start to spill out underneath the van and you'll hear it spilling out. So don't worry about keeping a really close eye on it while you're filling. In the back, you'll see that we have a shower hookup. This is also hooked to the 24 gallons of fresh water. This is mainly meant for just rinsing off after a long hike or a day playing in the mountains. Really simple to use. You just plug right in here on the off and turn to on. You want to make sure that your water pump is also turned on. It's got pretty good water pressure and can shoot about 10 feet. Each van has a 7-gallon gray water tank that is directly below the sink, and it's really easy to dump. If you come down here, you'll see that there's a little sticker saying wastewater holding tank. Directly underneath that is the dump nozzle. You'll unscrew the cap, and the cap is hooked to the lever. What you'll want to do is pull the lever back towards the wheel. One suggestion is not to have your face too close down here because it will splatter. This tank is empty, but you'll have a forceful flow of water coming out. and you'll want to dump this water at any dump station in the campground.